Beep! What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and after 3 months of hard work, Deceiver Volume 3 is ready to go for you guys. Now, if you supported the first one and the second one, you know what Deceiver is all about. Modern tech house vibes, endemic, looking at artists like Dom Dalla, Chris Lake, Foot, etc. But for this installment, I did look at a couple of the tour room artists as requested by you guys. Now, usually what I do to make these packs, guys, is I like to go here on Spotify and I like to go over some of these playlists. But I also ended up checking the tour room playlist out, which is going to be this one right here, in order to make and inspire some of the sounds based on this. You know, with the packs, what I like to do is I like to niche them down so that when people support the packs, when they buy them, everything in the pack can be used by you. All the kicks are made specifically for tech house. All the presets are made specifically for tech house. And what that guarantees, I guess, for you guys is the fact that you can utilize any of these sounds. They're all going to fit in this realm. And that's something very important, which is sound selection. Okay. Now, today, again, we're just going to be doing an overview of the pack to see if it's a good fit for you guys. This is the way I supplement myself in the way that you keep the YouTube tutorials running. And I'm always eternally grateful for those of you guys that support my work. You know, I put my heart out for these presets, and I hope that you guys enjoy them and that it helps you guys achieve what you're trying to achieve with them and hopefully have a lot of fun with them as well. With that being said, let's get straight into this, guys. So here we're going to have the Serum sound set. Now, there's going to be a total, I'm going to say on the website, about 170 Serum presets, but in all honesty, I think there's a lot more in there, like probably 180, 190. And again, we're going to start from the very top, which is going to be the most important thing in tech house, which are the bass lines. Now, there's going to be a section here which the other packs didn't have, called the additive section, and I think I'm going to be doing this for future installments just so that you guys understand that these bass lines are meant to be layered with other bass lines. For instance, the first one we have here is called Additive Cookout. This one's Justin J inspired. The idea of these basses is the fact that you're going to have a main bass line. Usually it's going to be like either a square saw or like a sine wave that has been saturated or distorted. And these are going to go on top just to kind of accentuate certain hits on the bass line. So that's the idea of these. Obviously, that's the Fisher resonating one. We got a Josh Butler one. So yeah, they're going to be there. You can make this dry. So again, these are going to go on top. So you're going to have your main bass, and that's going to accentuate the bass line. So that's what they're there for. And again, you're going to have a couple of those. You can use them as sort of like lead synths in a way as well if you wanted to. But that's what these are going to be. And again, some of these are going to have names, like I like to be kind of funny with it. Ian Kirkpatrick, which is, I guess, Dua Lipa's producer that does a lot of housey stuff. So this one's going to be inspired by Kyle Watson, who has been doing sort of like a tech house vibe. So like I said, for this pack, even though it's modern tech house, I did look at other artists doing something different with tech house and just inspired some of these sounds in order to make these, which I know they're going to work on top of your bass lines. Now, from there, you're going to have the main bass lines. Now, the main bass lines, I'm not going to lie, they're all based on saw, square, etc. And I've talked about why all these bass lines are based on that. And that's due to the fact that square and saw, sine, are going to have some of the strongest harmonics. So, for instance, the saw is going to have a lot of harmonics. The square is going to have more odd harmonics, but they're going to produce the strongest bass lines. That's why you see them popping up. And then the sine wave also really works well when saturated. So again, I hope you notice how good these basses sound out of Serum, because I did put in a lot of work in doing the processing on them, running span on them to make sure that the frequency looked right so that when you guys use these, you can still compress them a bit more or saturate. But I know without a doubt, if you have something cool, these bass lines are already going to sound good to go. So that's why I always have span running when I run these presets. And I'm going to leave it up for you guys here just so that you guys can see as we go through some of these, okay? So this is another additive one. I just should have put the additive in front, but we're going to move on from that. This one's going to be more of a deep housey one for sure. Just wanted to add it in there. Now, when I make these presets, you can see I kind of looking for this kind of vibe to the bass. I don't want the mids to be overly accentuated and also louder than the low end, just due to the fact that if you have too much of mid-lows, it's going to make the bass just sound really bloated and not clean enough. We can get rid of the knock, add release. One of the wide bass lines in the pack. Again, I know some of you guys like those, so. Okay, Confess, just a very heavy bass. A bit of a Femi bass, and then here we have a more an Ikin inspired one. All right, some more sustained bass. Here's another one with a different vibe. This one utilizes FM instead of going with additive, which gives it a different flavor. And again, this one's going to be heavily layered. And the idea of this layers is, again, to give us that response that we want. Which, again, we don't want the mids to be too high up, but we do want them to have a bit of presence. For instance, there I'm playing D, and you can still hear it, and that is the point. A lot of people will run just the sine wave like this, and you can't hear shit. So again, that's the point of the layering that you're going to be seeing in some of these presets. This one's going to be more of a subby tool room one. Now at the bottom of the pack, guys, we are going to have a couple of the wide bass lines. They're going to be made wide properly by making sure that the low end isn't going to be causing any issues. And if there's a bit of width, it's not going to be in the low end region. All right, so if you're going to utilize those. Now from there, we're going to go to the chord shots, which are going to sound pretty dark. Okay, we're going to keep going. All right, we can play with some of the mods to change the tone. Some of the sounds, like meaning the leads and the chords, are going to have evolving on them. All that means is that I've added an LFO like this with the trig off. So it's set to off. And the reason is that every time I play a note, you can see that it evolves, it changes. Now, when you use that in a song, Serum is going to follow your bar. So if you're like, let's say starting the bar, it will start over here. And if you're in the middle of the bar and you play a note, it will start there. So that's the really cool thing about that. And that's a great way to make kind of sounds that are going to evolve over time. I really like that one. It's a very classic sound. Oh, this one's great. That's one of my favorite sounds in the pack, especially the choir section. Additive synthesis on those. This one's inspired by that Torn Foot song. I think it goes. It's really cool. I liked it. So those are gonna be some of the chords. Of course, we have effects. Bitcoin. Just again, goofy effects. Let's go! I'm kidding though. It's like, damn, you're gonna hype people up. This is a very unique effect that I wish people would use more often. It's essentially a sync effect, but if people use that, everyone will go back to the 80s, you know, like straight up leather jackets, Lamborghini Murcielago. All right. This one's inspired by Martin Ikin. I just remade it. That one I'm just holding down notes, so it's sustained, so I find it pretty cool. That was a good time. All right, guys, from there, we're going to have the leads. And I'm not going to lie. If you're looking for acid-style sounds, you're not going to find it in this pack. Deceiver Volume 2 had all the acid stuff in there. For this one, we are going to have this one. But that's about it. I didn't really focus on acid sounds for Volume 3 installment because I didn't see it being used as often anymore. We are going to find a lot of anthemic leads and trippy ones, though. Okay. I did hear like Clone had a song, and I really liked this kind of like brassy, dark hit that he had. You could barely tell it was there, but again, just had to add it in there. Lead, big flex. I don't need to give explanation where this one's from. If you hear the Spotify Tech House playlist, you can change the tone up depending on what you want to use it for. So sometimes you just want it to be barely audible. This is one of my favorite leads. You know, Sonny Federa, Dum Dollar, I love you. All right, so it's a really cool lead. Again, whoa, we can do a lot of stuff with it. That one hurt my ear. Brass in Colombia. So again, a lot of these leads are going to be very anthemic, mainly for the people making modern. This one's a little louder and lower. But yeah, they're going to be very anthemic. Martin Ikin fucking used it great in his song. I think it was Hands Up or Back to the Funk, where he has this nice kind of FM piano to it. I really like that sound. And again, I had to remake it, so I love that sound. And again, this is another variation of it. But yeah, great stuff. Tony Sausage. Okay, so yeah, it's a really cool sound. Now, I think this one's side piece inspired. I just called it side inspired, sure, but side piece. But they got a lot of nice kind of solids in some of their newer stuff. Kind of Chris Lakey lead. In the Deceiver Volume 1 and 2, you found a lot of these kind of like square solids. So for this one, it's just a sign that's getting distorted and giving us a nice little modulation. This one's supposed to be a Crossnader sound, which I didn't nail down. So during the live stream, I decided to turn it into something else. However, with the movement, I really like the way it sounds. So inside the global section in Serum, you can find the width knob there. So if you detune, you can always put that to 0 so it's in mono. So we're going to move on from the leads, guys. There's a bunch. I'll show this one last because I really like this one. Very unique. Obviously, you know it from the Chris Lake song, I Remember. And then there's Patagonia 3, which if you've supported my techno packs as well as my exploration pack, you've probably used lead Patagonia 1 and 2, but it's something really cool that I figured out how to do, and it just sounds fucking great. Anyways, these are some of the leads, guys. And from there, we're just going to have some of the plucks. Michael Bibi inspired this. It's just kind of the pluck sound that he uses a lot. I never like plucks in the packs, but there's one I do like. There's two I like in this pack a lot that I would say, you know, buy the pack for these two plucks. And those are going to be Kush. Inspired by Taiki New Light. I know he doesn't make tech house, but I really like that sound in his song, which I know is a real ethnic instrument, but I just wanted to remake it for this pack. I thought it was really cool. This one's another whistle, like self-resonating sound. If you run the resonance hard and you can get it right on key, you can put the key track on and do a lot of really cool sound. So it's one of my favorite leads and plucks in the pack as well. Tommy the Hitter. Really trippy stuff. All right, and those are going to be the presets, guys. Now, I didn't go over all of them, of course, but I hope that that kind of gives you an idea of what you can find inside of the pack. Now, from there, we're going to go to the main sample pack. So majority of the time, you know, back then, I just used to do sound banks because that's what I enjoy doing and that's what I'm really good at. But, of course, as you guys know, I've been doing sample packs more for now, like for 4 years. And I've been learning a lot in making packs that really work. And a lot of you guys always give me feedback on them. So, again, first off, for the drums, the kicks, I paid a huge amount of attention to them. Essentially, what I would do is I would have tech house tracks just playing constantly. I would hear the kick and make sure every kick that I made had that sonic quality, which, again, most of the tech house guys are utilizing 909 kicks. So and then that last one was provided by Semenga, who did help me with the pack as well. And he said that's a really good kick for tool room stuff. So I just added it in there because he said that to try it out. Okay, so really good stuff there. Claps, of course. Again, I really paid a lot of attention to the way the claps sound to make sure that they fit the tech house theme. That's the important thing, is that these samples have to fit. Because what I've been realizing when I produce on my own is the fact that drum samples make the biggest of differences. If you use like a 808 or 707 open hat, it just doesn't make sense in the tech house world. So you got to make sure, again, that these sounds are going to be kind of inspired by those sounds, but they're going to have their own little twist to them, of course. Close hats are always boring to make to an extent. Just a lot of ring mod and noise. But yeah, close hats. From there, we're going to have open hats. A little all over the spectrum. Some are a little bit more mellow for more mellow type of tech house, and some are really hard 909 bass. So percussion, rides, shakers, snares. So definitely going to fill that up there, guys. Again, I'll show the rest of this thing. So a little all over the spectrum, classic sounds, and again, basic ones, as well as some hard ones. Then we have short fills. I've never been good at fills, but I tried a little bit harder on this. So it's going to be fills. All right, and then we're going to move on to effects, crashes. Of course, washed out with reverb. uplifters. I like this one. It's more like a damn horn. Let's skip through them. So a lot of these uplifters are made with Serum, and I like to utilize the LFO on wavetables and whatnot, and the FM as well to make them unique. And of course, you got white noise ones, really long ones, and some short ones. If you need more white noise downlifters, just reverse these guys, put them in, and reverse it, so that way you get more. If you need more white noise downlifters, just grab a white noise uplifter, reverse that, and you're set to go. So if you want more options again. Now in the sample pack, we're also gonna have synth loops, which are just gonna be kind of like snippets. You're also gonna find some effects in there. And what I hope you guys do with these is you cut them up, so that way you just grab the part of the sound that you like. That was the whole point of it. Essentially what we did is like use a lot of the Arturia stuff, and we would just do like effects chains, and then from there just record the whole effects going through. So if you like anything there, you could just sample it out of there. So that was the idea of some of the synth loops. And of course, there's some melodic ones in there, but not a lot of anthemic ones. I think you guys are good with that. Now in the sample pack, you're also going to find vocals, and we're going to have this many. I haven't counted them, but there's at least 20 to 25 in there. And they're going to sound like this. It's a mixture of me and, again, one of you guys, Semenga, who helped me with the pack tremendously. And you're going to find a mixture of our voices there. But we both made them. And again, there's going to be like some female sounding ones. They're not female though, but they do sound like it.
Anywhere you go, I go. Anywhere. Back to the funk.
Oh, you dance and break free.
I always laugh, dude. That's Semenga right there. Let's see, we got...
Dance, move your feet side to side all night long.
Dirty, sexy bitch, you love me. Dance all night like worry nothing.
Flip the switch, let your inner freak come out. Flip the switch, let the house take over right now.
Knick, knack, patty, whack, give your girl a bone.
Can I ask for your hand? I want you dance.
I don't know what you want from me. All I can give you is me.
Oh, what you do? Deep down, down in my heart. Destroying my feelings. You make my heart go boom, boom. When it beats to the rhythm.
This DJ, he gets down, mixing house music all night long.
Skank that shit. Baby got no limitations on that booty. That booty.
When the weekend hits, you wanna move your hips. I want you to understand, so I want you to clap those hands. When the weekend hits.
Oh, what you do to me, you dance like that poor girl that I admire.
So you find a lot of vocals like that, guys. And of course, the last thing I'll show, we do have bass loops. They're going to be heavily processed, but hopefully they work for you guys. Okay, and then bass MIDI, of course, I think a total of like around 25, 30. Okay, brass that. And then from there, we're going to have the construction kits, which is going to be a total of 5 that have been stemmed out. Of course, play a few of it.
This is something I really want to share.
Here's another one.
Bitches love that Lambo.
That's me.
Bitches love that Lambo. Bitches love that. Bitches love that.
Okay, So a total of 5 construction kits there for you guys to utilize stemmed out. The way I use that, I just grab the drum loops and then make my own bass beat to it, and then I switch out the drums whenever I can. But it's good to get stuff started, or if you find something is lacking in your song, then you can go in with those guys. All right, guys, and that's going to be the entirety of the pack. If you want to support it, you can find it over at evilsounds.com. And as always, guys, you guys have a good night, a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time for another video. Peace out. Take care.